Personal Talent Management from 2007 to 2010, Human Resource Development, DHRD, October 2010 to February 2013, Director of Personnel, DOP, DRDO, February 2013 to 15 to June 2015. He was born in June 61. He did his MSc Biophysics from Punjab University and obtained his doctorate from Jamia Millia Islamia, University of Jamia Millia Islamia, on infection imaging. Dr. Singh joined DRDO in 1988 and worked in various R&D projects. During his 30 years of service, he has made significant contributions in infection imaging and internal decorporation of fission-produced radionuclides. He has developed a diagnostic kit for detection of infectious lesions. He has introduced and nurtured pharmacoscintigraphy, that is application of nuclear medicine imaging in drug research. He is the recipient of many accolades and recognitions. Few to mention are Young Scientist Award, Brigadier S.K. Majumdar Memorial Trust for development of ciprofloxacin kit for specific infection imaging, DRDO Technology Award for work on development of diagnostic radiopharmaceuticals, Oration Award at Chandigarh Science Congress, Mrs. Angam Vasudevan Award for development of a cold kit for instant preparation of TC99M4 fluoroquinolone for specific infection imaging by Indian Association of Biomedical Scientists and DRDO Scientist of the Year Award in the year 2006. Outstanding contribution in DRDO, Brigadier S.K. Majumdar Oration by Society of Nuclear Medicine of India and K.N. Maitra Oration by Physiology Society of India. He has 18 patents and 57 publications in various national and international journals with credit. He has supervised many PhD scholars of India. He has been instrumental in taking various initiatives for the HR development in the field of aerospace and aeronautics as coordinator, Aeronautics Resource Panel. He has patronized sports with equal enthusiasm as President DRDO Sports Board. Dr. A.K. Singh is an Antarctican. He has participated in the 19th Antarctican expedition. So welcome, sir. We are very happy to have you among us. And I really hope and I know that all of us will really benefit from what you will share with us. So now I request you to kindly start your talk.
Okay, namaskar and good morning to all of you. And I think I am humbled by the gesture of Professor Dubey and Professor Yogi for giving me this opportunity to share some of my readings, some of my thoughts and analysis with all of you on Corona. And I think Corona is a new term on our tables these days. Though we were very much aware of Crown, and we all love to see Crown, and I think from the Crown this virus draws its name. And we have witnessed that the whole world or the most of the countries came to this screeching halt in the last month. And I think no one had ever imagined, those who are living on this planet Earth, that such kind of situation would ever emerge. But we all are witnessing and we all are struggling, we all are fighting. If the audience are from the science background, it would be a reminder. And if they are not, I think I want to say a few lines about this coronavirus. Basically, the coronavirus is a virus of coronavirus family, and it causes illness in animals and in humans. Till now, 7 coronaviruses are known to the mankind, and they all cause influenza, or they call acute respiratory infections like common cold or severe diseases. The common coronaviruses known are MERS, which I think most of you might have read in media or in newspaper, which is known as Middle East respiratory syndrome, and SARS, severe acute respiratory syndrome. They cause this. And the recent one is what we see is SARS coronavirus 2, which we are encountering, which causes the COVID-2. And let me also share with you, for the sake of information, some people are saying novel coronavirus, some people are mentioning SARS-CoV-2, some are saying COVID-19. I think this COVID-19 is the disease caused by SARS coronavirus 2. And SARS coronavirus 2 is the name of the virus which causes the COVID-19. And I think if you need, we can have a more discussion on that at the end, that why it is affecting more the elderly people and the children, and how it is affecting those things. We can have a debate. Now, coming to the coronavirus now. I think you all would agree with me that coronavirus has affected, and it has impacted all the living beings on this earth. When I say living beings, not only the humans per se, they are the most affected, but even the animals. And they have done this physically. When I say physically, means not on the physical aspect of the human beings and the physical space, psychologically, and maybe physiologically, and which I shall be sharing with you with the examples how it has impacted us psychologically, physiologically, and physically. Now, why this coronavirus is different? What's so unique about this coronavirus? I think one term which can come near to define or embody all these aspects is, I think, uncertainty. When I say uncertainty, it is in its epidemiology, it is in its pathogenesis, that how it affects our body, its treatment. Just to take, pathogenesis, you must be reading that the reports were that it affects the lungs because it is a respiratory disease. And that's why that we need to supplement with the oxygen to the patient, and the patient will get relief. Now, as we progressed, the reports started coming that it is something else. What something else? That it removes the iron from the hemoglobin. As you all know, the oxygen is transported from the lungs to the tissues by the red blood cells, and red blood cells have the hemoglobin, and in the hemoglobin, that is the iron which is in the porphyrin ring. So if you remove the iron, the ability of the hemoglobin to absorb oxygen and transport oxygen goes. So what was reported, that the iron gets detached, and that's why the oxygen is not transported. And when the large amount of the iron is detached, it affects our kidneys and the liver, and multi-organ failure goes. This is the changes which which are encountering in the pathogenesis. Now, recently, in a day or so, the another aspect is coming, that it is also doing the blood coagulation in the body, and that is all maybe the cause of death. You just see the uncertainty in understanding of the pathogenesis. Now, the treatment, you have seen that treatment is starting. It was then can we do with antimalarials? No antiviral was working. Then remdesivir, which is the drug which was tried in US to partial success, that is being tried. Some homeopathic. Ultimately, to cut the long story short, even the treatment regimen is not yet final, because still we are understanding it. Daily uncertainties, new things are emerging, and we have to cope up with those things. Another thing which is unique about this virus is that it has many strains. And like strain S type is there, L type is there, and they say L type strain is the most lethal. When I link it, if you see the mortality rate in China, mortality rate in Italy, mortality rate is in America and in India, you will find that it is not following the same pattern. Because in the starting it was projected that the mortality rate would be about 3%. When I say mortality rate is 3%, means out of every 100 patients infected, 3 would not survive. But if we see Italy, the mortality rate is varying from even less than 2% to somewhere 10% or even more than the 10%. So this is again the uncertainty. We are not able to understand the behavior, though people are ascribing various reasons to this different mortality rate. Then come the pattern. If you see the spread pattern, the spread pattern is also different from countries to countries. If you see China, the Chinese government could restrict it to one city. See in Italy, it's spread all over America. In India, there were reports that the temperature might be favorable, might not be favorable. Science says that it is not favorable, but when we are seeing Indian condition, tomorrow we may come out with the research and the evidences that the higher temperature favors. This is again a question mark which we are not able to answer as of now. Then comes, we are still waiting that would it differentiate between poor and rich? Would it has already differentiated between old and the young? Again, generally the viruses are not all weather viruses. Means they are more potent in some warm weather, not so potent in the cold weather. But this virus is a all weather virus. And to share with you, I was discussing with some of the experts on this. They said it is the ideal pathogen. It will have so many connotations, which I don't want to go into the details. When I say the ideal pathogen, why? Because the pathogen, if it does not kill the host, it is one of the major issues. Means if I get infected, I become a bomb. If another person gets infected, he becomes a bomb. If I die, if the host dies, then the story gets finished. But it is not happening. It means each one of us who gets infected becomes a nucleus for further transmission. So this virus naturally or man-made, which is still a question of debate. Let's see, but it has been classified as one of the ideal pathogen. Now, how do we manage such pandemic? And you had been reading in various media reports or print media. Generally, it is a common strategy that first we stop the transmission. Then we should have detection systems. Then we should treat it, and when we should monitor it. I think I will, in these aspects, I will share with you what DRDO has done on all these aspects. But before I go to DRDO, I think present situation in India is far, far better. Considering the population density, considering the socio-economic conditions, considering the medical infrastructure setup we have, if we consider everything, different kind of people, everything, we are able to contain this disease to the very, very large extent. And I think I must place on record the planning, the timely planning, then decision, then effectively implementing the decision. I think the credit goes to primarily to the government of India and to all of us, that we respected the government decisions and we are able to contain it. Otherwise, if we translate the America or Italy situation in the numbers, density, and the infrastructure in India, I think the numbers would be unimaginable. We will forget counting zeros that what it could have done. But we are quite controlled. I think the situation is quite good. Now DRDO. I come from DRDO, and all of you know that DRDO is the largest R&D organization of this country, and mandated to develop various weapons, weapon systems, and weapon platforms. To name few, I think DRDO signature products could be the series of missiles, and the latest had been the anti-satellite missile, and before that a series of Agni missiles, Agni 1, Agni 2, Agni 3, Agni 5, which is a intercontinental ballistic missile. The another signature in the sky is about light combat aircraft. Then we develop various artillery guns, tanks, torpedoes, sonars, electronic warfare systems. And one group of laboratories also works to keep the man behind the weapon system fighting fit. Basically, the whole organization imparts or strengthens the kill power of the weapon. Sometimes we are talked, or we are judged as a with a negative connotation that this is the organization which works to increase the kill power. But in this situation, I think we have emerged not the kill power providing or generating organization, but how we are able to innovate, how we are able to extend, how we are able to tweak, how we are able to garner or incorporate our industrial base to provide solutions, either smaller or bigger, in the management of corona. Now, I'll take about 10-15 minutes to share with you how we have done that. Let's say I'll start with this simple, very simple example, which I had been talking on many platforms. We work on biodefense, where we culture various bacteria, virus, and we develop various defense mechanisms, various diagnostic kits like dengue, like chikungunya, like anthrax. There you use the hand sanitizer day in, day out. There was the time when corona started, the reports were there, the hand sanitizer is not available, and if it is available, it is being sold at an exorbitant cost. At that time, the DRDO's one lab in Gwalior, they immediately, extended this help, and large volumes of this hand sanitizer tested was made and was prepared and made available not only to the DRDO labs, to the various government organizations, even to the constable and the standing on the picket, or a karamchari, ward boy who is working there, so as to instill trust in them and also show that they are the people who care for you. Then the protective system in the corona is what we say PPE, which you must be hearing, personal protection equipment. It consists of the bodysuit, it consists of the eye gear, it consists of the mask, it consists of the headgear, and it consists of the shoe cover. So if I come on the PPE, means a bodysuit, we also work on chemical, biological, and nuclear warfare agents. When we develop various defensive technologies to handle NBC scenario, we develop NBC suits, which a first responder or our combatant will wear when he is in this extreme environment. So we immediately went through our products, and we made personal protection equipment, and which was tested, evaluated, and many labs participated in this. And now the PP is being manufactured by many industries, and daily production means the DRDO's product portion is about 50 to 60 suits per day, which are being given to Government of India in their kitty. Now, when you make the PPE, what happens? One is the cloth. The other is when you do the stitching, that seam has to be equally protective. Means the pathogen should not pass through the seam. So there is this is one of the requirements, that seam is totally sealed, and that testing is done by DRDO. When the Government of India had to enhance the production of PPEs, the industry shared with us that we are short of sealing machines, one, and also the tape which is put on the seam. Then we came into the picture, and we use lot of glues and gums in DRDO. So we immediately, did some R&D and provided one glue which was tested, and that glue is being utilized by one of the or few of the manufacturers in place of the tape. But one point was raised by the industry, that to put a glue, it is a mechanical process that they take more time. That was the one negative aspect with the application of the glue. But what I want to point, which I want to drive, is that imagine the glue, or imagining the adhesive which is used in missiles for some other purpose has been extended to seal the seam, and which has been successful. And we were able to produce in numbers, and we could obviate the requirement of sealing machines and sealing tape. Now coming to the mask, we also make mask in as a part of the NBC protective suit. So we were working to make a mask for NBC filtration. Now, to give you some background, generally you must have seen people wearing three types of mask. One is the thin wala, which has the pleats. Generally, they are referred as surgical mask. They are one-layered mask, two-layer mask, three-layer mask. Generally, the advice is that we should wear the three-layered surgical mask, which should be sufficient for the general public to wear. We also participated in provisioning of one of the layers, which is very important, which is melt blown. We help the industry in its provisioning. Then we provided the N99 mask. N99 means it has the particulate filtration efficiency of 99%. This material was developed with the help of Atira, which is a Ahmedabad-based one institute. And this N99 mask has two layers, which is NanoWeb. That NanoWeb material was developed by DRDO. Now, this is also produced in numbers by two industries. One is in Mumbai, the other is in Calcutta, and are being provided to government. And government has placed orders of worth of tens of lakhs. I think about 25-30 lakh mask order has been placed to them. Now just see how we have converted this knowledge, which was for NBC, to the COVID. Another thing, now beyond a mask, you will be wearing the shield, which takes care of any splash on the face. One of our labs has developed that. Now, for the testing of the PPE, this body suit and mask, the government of India had to import this PPEs and masks in numbers. And when we do the import, we need to establish that the quality of the imported product is according to the label claims. When I say label claims, what we had asked and what is being put, it matches to that. We are participating in a big way in testing the imported material, so that once we clear it, then it can be distributed. And also to gear up or to ramp up the indigenous production, many industries are bringing their products for testing. When they are tested and found suitable, the orders are being placed and they are manufacturing it. Now, to share with you on the PPE, which you must be reading and listening in the newspaper, is one of the major requirements in the management of COVID. बेसिकली अगर ध्यान से देखें तो कुछ नहीं है, एक सूट है, उस पर कपड़ा होना चाहिए, उसकी सिलाई होनी चाहिए, लेकिन मैंने बताया इसका कपड़ा भी डिफरेंट होगा, which should pass certain quality parameters और उसकी stitching. India has got kind of an enviable textile infrastructure. Now the whole industry has been geared up with the help of many agencies, and one of the major player or major agencies, DRDO, in provisioning of the PPEs. Now we will not only be ensuring or catering to the Indian needs, we would be maturing to the level that we would be able to export to other countries wherever there is a requirement. Now just see, with the participation of the R&D organization, with the participation of the industry, where the will of the government, how DRDO has changed the whole scenario. Now let's go next now. Another requirement which doctors said was taking the sample. You must have seen that because it's a very pathogenic or very virulent type of a virus, it is not easy to take the sample, because
मैम
सर का माइक,
अजय सर का
we cannot hear
माइक ही ऑफ
sir.
हो गया मैम.
Yeah,
यस मैम, मैं भी वही
that's
कह
why.
रहा.
हाँ सर, आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही है. We cannot hear you. Please switch on your mic.
now it's okay.
Yes.
Okay. What I want to say, then with every patient, the doctor or paramedic has to change the PPE. So we made a kiosk in which the patient would go, and there would be a gloves, and the paramedic can take the sample, and the suspected or the patient can go out, and it can be sanitized, and you can reuse it. It was developed by one of the missile lab. A lab making a missile entered into this, and it was accepted, and many samples have been provided through industry. Now coming to the ventilators, I think in this country the DRDO is the first to make the ventilator way back in 2003-4 through one of our society known as Society of Biomedical Technology. At that time, we had made the prototype, and the technology was transferred to Precol India, and it was in Coimbatore. And this company, got transformed, changed the names. Ultimately, its present name is Scanray, situated near Mysore. Now, based on that technology, the Scanray has tied up with Bharat Electricals Limited, and the government of India has placed order of 30,000 ventilators on BEL. Though the total projection of the requirement of the ventilator by the government of India, which stands today 75,000, and at present we have around 20,000 ventilators available across the country, and government has already put orders worth 60,000 ventilators. And I happen to be the chairman of the committee who is responsible for the technical features, essential technical features required for the ventilators required for COVID patients. Now, when Scanray and BEL signed the agreement for the 30,000 ventilators, one issue emerged, that they needed certain critical parts in numbers. So DRDO, what we did, we provided certain parts, the Indian version or the substitute. We also helped in provisioning of the parts through our industry. We also help in giving some other alternative solutions, and coordinating, facilitating, providing. Now with the participation or with the coordination of DRDO, the first lot of the ventilators would be coming out of the BEL maybe in next week. And same technology of Scanray has been taken by other industries. What I want to convey, imagine DRDO, missile making, now into the ventilators, and now participating in such a way that the Indian industry would be giving the ventilators. Let me share with you, if everything goes fine, after the COVID, when it recedes, the capability of Indian industry would be so much that we would be exporting these ventilators. And who could have imagined that this would be happening? Now coming to the sanitization, another thing which you must be seeing, that sanitizing tunnels. Bada akhbar mein aata hai, then people are going with raised hands and you find the mist. This is one of the things which would be required. Why? Because when the virus spreads, when the virus would be available in the atmosphere, then it would be contaminating our surfaces, and it would be sitting on our clothes. So it is better that we reduce the viral load. If we are able to reduce the viral load, we would be saving our people, or we would be controlling the spread. So one is that tunnel. And though it drew a lot of questions about the safety aspect of this tunnel, then the government, this health department of Chennai, then our health ministry, then Punjab, they issued the advisory that it is not the safe, that it is a debatable question which can be debated, but I will not go into the details. But I will use this platform in saying that the all chemicals may not be safe, but the chemical which we propose, the DRDO patronizes, is the HOCl, which we are using in reducing the bacterial, this viral load by 3 logs, is very safe. I think we are still debating, and I think the government would clear it and it would be deployed. The second was the PPE, can we reuse it? Because हर आदमी को N95 मास्क चाहिए या 3-ply मास्क चाहिए. हमारे को जो PPEs हैं, they would be required by the doctors, they would be required by paramedics, they would be required by ward boy, they would be required by policemen, they would be required by safai karamchari, that would be required by everyone. Providing these many numbers of single-use personal suit may not be desirable and may not be feasible by our government and by all of us. When I say government, means we all are part of the government and part of this country. So we undertook R&D, and now we have established that some of these body suits, means made by DRDO material, they can be worn, then you can disinfect them, and you can wear them 15 to 20 times, which we are pushing it, and it would be available reusable suits. And just we want to push it in a non-hospital setup, or where the infection is not too much, so that if there is iota of missing or iota of doubt, that is taken care. So this is another thing which we have done, and for that we have developed various fogging or vaporization protocols, by which we have established that you can disinfect these body suits completely, and they can be reused. Other small things which DRDO is working on, providing of some disinfection, disinfectants and disinfection devices for my mobile phone, for my keychain, for my small purse, my wallet, because in times to come this would be required in the household if the things spread to the large extent. So these things are also done by DRDO, and research is on to provide, can we use microwave to disinfect it? And one well-established technology is the radiation, which is being pushed by Department of Atomic Energy. Now, last 1 or 2 things. Whenever there would be any nuclear detonation or chemical spread, we predict, we make models that how it would be spreading and what would be its impact. Now we extended those models, or the experience and knowledge which we had while modeling those scenes. We are daily providing the government with the predictions. We are daily sending it to the very high offices, that what would be the peaking time, and what would be the predictions of total active cases, what would be the deaths, and that is being accepted with high accuracy data. Now you just imagine, this was the small discussion on what we have done till now in management of the COVID. Before I go to the last leg of this, would there be question answers, or I finish? Because they would be asking in the last.
So there will be question answers.
Okay. Now where are we now? Now, if we see, now we are doing this online seminar. I think you would agree with me that was not the usual thing maybe about 2 months back. Now it is, we are using it. Now my wife, who teaches history in Delhi University, now she is taking classes daily on Zoom. I can take liberty of saying that it is a surprise to me. That is in the present situation what we are doing. Our meetings are taking place on VC, video conferencing, which was not the normal thing about 2 months back. Though there are certain disadvantages, certain constraints in doing it, but there are many advantages also. In video conferencing, what I find that we are able to rope in many people at one point of time, and they participate whenever they are required, which otherwise could not have been possible for them to come physically. So these are the new things which would be coming, and we are also able to realize that we may not, our infrastructure may not be sufficient to support all these kind of video conferencing, all these classes, and which needs to be strengthened. And what has changed? Many rituals have changed. I will not go into the details. You know, सब चीजें बंद हैं. मैं उस मंदिर मस्जिद में नहीं जाना चाहूंगा. But I think this corona has made us realize that it is the human being, it is the life which overrides all other things. Pollution has decreased. The man-made things, we realize now we should learn lesson that we pollute less. आपाधापी जिंदगी में, भाग दौड़ की जिंदगी में, many of us were dying. Now I think death rates have decreased. The seismic activities on the earth have decreased. Can you imagine? There is a data. तो इसलिए हमने धरती पे जो हलचल करते थे दुनिया भर की, वो भी कम कर दी है. और हमारी जो डेली एक्टिविटीज हैं, they have also changed. They have also changed the way we are spending our time. Now spiral time. Now coming to the future, what will happen? What will happen? We all are waiting for the lockdown to open. Okay, it will happen maybe next week or next to next week, depending upon the situation, how the situation emerges. Let me share with you then a lockdown, or what the term which we had been using, the flattening of the curve. When I say flattening of the curve or lockdown, it doesn't mean that we will not get infected. We will get infected, but we want to extend the time of infection so that our medical infrastructure is able to take care of all of us. Like if everyone gets infected and we all go to the hospital, the system will collapse. If it happens slowly over a period of time, the system would be able to take care, and over a period of time, the herd immunity will develop and we will be able to control the virus. So there would be this coronavirus, let me share with you, it is not the guest. ये हमारा मेहमान नहीं है जो आया है और 2-4 दिन बाद चला जाएगा. ये हमारे साथ रहेगा. किस शेप में रहेगा, किस एक्सटेंट में रहेगा, I think the time will tell. One. Number two, once we flatten the curve, or when the corona recedes, there would be new normals. Nothing wrong to be having new normals. I am not scaring by saying there would be new normals. The mask may become the part of our daily gear. इसमें घबराइए मत, and we will have a very designer mask. The girls would be able to wear designer mask. और उसमें यही होगा कि शक्ल पूरी नहीं दिखेगी, हम पहचान नहीं पाएंगे. Then there would be ways and means to write the name on the mask. Video conferencing may be way of life, particularly for the IT sector and for the academics. Online and VC may be a new normal. Hygiene may be a new normal. मैं भी 24 घंटे में एक ही बार हाथ धोता था, अब मैं एक दिन में 24 बार हाथ धोता हूँ. And this may be a good thing for all of us to follow. social distancing may be a new normal in आने वाले time में, and we have to learn to live with corona, and we have to learn to live with all these precautions. And with this, international relations will change, diplomacy will change, the investment pattern will change, investment pattern on the R&D, the type of R&D, the investment pattern on the industry in the infrastructure, because I had been talking all kind of कि ये challenge है, ये challenge है, ये challenge है, लेकिन इसके अंदर एक बहुत खूबसूरत और बहुत बड़ी हिंदुस्तान के लिए एक अपॉर्चुनिटी भी emerge कर रही है. That is, if it happens, what are the predictions? That if many companies or many industries or sector, if they plan to come out of China, then India could be one of the most preferred destinations. I think this may be a new thing. Then security definition would change. The war doctrines would change, because you see what has happened. Now this corona is able to impact everyone and anyone on this earth. And it has hampered and shattered everything, economy, health, everything. And this could be used as the weapon against any country. Maybe, I'm not saying that what has happened. So one has to think, plan, and take care of these things. I'll like to, the other thing, human behavior will change. Our thinking will change. अगर हम कुछ भी कहें, हम जितने भी लोग हैं, चाहे देश में हैं, विदेश में हैं, एक सबके जहन में एक डर है, क्या होगा, और लगता है कि कहीं मैं इन्फेक्टेड ना हो जाऊं, मैं ये ना हो जाऊं, ये सबको डर है. And this has also changed our behavior. Lastly, I'll say that, with the human resilience and with this level of science and technology which we have, and the R&D which is going on, in times to come, we may have, in all probability, vaccine or some effective drugs, and we would be able to handle corona. Or if we have to live with it, we will make it pet. We will domesticate it so that we live both together and corona does not finger us, all of us. I think with this I will close, and I'll take questions and I'll try to reply. Thank you for patient hearing.
Thank you so much, Dr. Singh. It was a very informative and talk, and it has made us see the whole scene a little less scary, because in this lockdown, sitting at home, listening to news, सारा टाइम डर ही लगता रहता है कि बाहर जाओ ही मत. And especially, people like me, my husband, who are senior citizens, बहुत ही डर लगता है जी, गेट के बाहर भी मत निकलो. So thank you so much. And now the questions are invited. Firstly, I would like to request some students to ask one pointed question. Please switch on your mic, ask your question, and put off your mic. Any student? I think no student is asking. So before that, any teacher asks, I want to ask two short questions, sir. You mentioned about the mask N99. But whatever we have been reading, सब कह रहे हैं N95 खरीदिए, N95 खरीदिए. So we have tried to even obtain the N95 masks. But you said that N99 is more secure because it is 99 times more secure, whatever. I want to ask, is it because DRDO is producing this, is it available directly to us, or we have to go through the retailers only?
Okay. First of all, let me tell you, which I shared when I was speaking. For the general public, 3-ply surgical mask is quite sufficient.
Quite sufficient. Okay.
Number one. These N95 and 99 masks are for the hospital setup where the things are more infectious.
Okay.
Number one. Number two, N99 mask, which is being manufactured, produced by the industries, as of now, that is being given to the government.
Okay.
Once the government requirements are over, they would be available to the general public because the industry is free to market it and sell it.
Okay, sir, one more question from me. You talked of peaking time. You are giving guidance to the government, the predictions, peaking time, death toll, etc. about corona. So
Yes.
if it is not a secret at your end, because I understand the defense, certain things cannot be put out, can you tell us what is more peaking time has to come? Because as it is quite peak. In Delhi, in India today, news says 2,000 something more cases have come to light.
Madam, okay, I'll tell you, even the model, because, prediction of a epidemiological situation is supposed to be the most difficult because it is the multifaceted or multi-parametric analysis and
Okay.
interplay of all these parameters, one, and many of those parameters are not static, they are dynamic. Listen, now in this lockdown, there
Yes,
are
sir.
many scenarios. If lockdown continues, this will be the scenario. If partially opened, this will be the scenario. If
Yes, sir.
totally opened, this will be the
Mm.
scenario.
Yes, sir.
Understood?
Yes, sir.
And there are, I use the word uncertainty, and even in these scenarios there are a lot of uncertainties. To share with you, the peaking time is also shifting, the things can be predicted to large extent, but sometimes we are not able to do it for the want of data.
Yes, sir.
But the projections are that it is going to be there for next 10-15 days. It will grow, but ultimately it will come down. And exact date, may not be, because it is the around that 3-4 दिन उन दिनों में ये होगा, वो है exact date के आज तक है, कल नहीं होगा. I think world over no one is able to do it, and it is also quite difficult to predict to such an accuracy के इस दिन होगा.
Okay. Thank you, sir. I requested.
मैम एक क्वेश्चन पूछूं?
हाँ जी, पूछिए. फिर प्रोफेसर दुबे को मैंने रिक्वेस्ट किया है बोलने के लिए.
सर, ये why it is not spreading beyond Wuhan and it has spread to the entire world? And also, my second question is why China is able to control it and we are still struggling with this virus?
देखो, चाइना में it mainly restricted to the Wuhan. I think they were the first to know it, and they may be knowing much more about this virus, which we don't know as of now. And it was their strategy to control it when it started. But they allowed all the international flights from Wuhan. Just a moment. And they sealed the Wuhan city, and they did not allow this to spread to other places. And to countries like us, it has come not other countries from Europe and from US. It was their strategy, it was their knowledge, which they could be able to do it. And in India, it has spread right from J&K to Kerala, and from Gujarat to the northeast. What should I say? Means they knew it.
Yes.
About the nature, and they could control it. And we were focusing main from the entry from the China, and people
Yes.
came, and because of the nature, there are many asymptomatic cases even today, which is coming, that you are normal, but when you go to the hospital for some other thing, then they say you get your COVID checked up and you find that you are positive. So these things are there because maybe something because of the nature of the virus, and something because of the strategy of the China.
Yes, sir.
Sir, I also want to ask a question, ma'am.
हाँ, पूछिए जल्दी, फिर सर बोलेंगे.
Sir, there is a little question. As you said, it's a perfect pathogen. So could that be that it is lab made, as there are allegations that it is a lab made virus?
हाँ, मतलब ये सेम सवाल जो चित्रा जी कर रही हैं, वो सवाल मेरा भी था कि क्या ये नेचुरल है या ये बायोलॉजिकल वॉर की तरह से?
It's SARS-2 and it's perfect pathogen. So how can it be perfect?
I think this is one of the questions which is being debated most world over, and it is a man-made or it is natural. You have a strong evidences in favor of both, and you have strong questions in favor of both. So still the debate is going on whether it is natural or man-made. I think let's wait till things become more clear.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Any
Right.
student wants to ask? Any
Ma'am,
student
I want
wants
to
to
ask one
ask?
question.
कौन है ये?
Ma'am Satyam,
हाँ पूछिए.
sir, I want to ask that is there any specific temperature that corona is lying between? I guess I have read some article in which, in that article, I have read that coronavirus is more affecting in the temperature lies between 3 degrees Celsius to 17 degrees Celsius. Sir, is this the reason why the most African country has not been as affected as the European countries?
You know, what you are saying, I told you that is a all-weather virus. You will find stray reports, what you are saying in its favor, but the pattern, if we analyze, it has infected people in cold countries. It is infecting people in the warm countries. One is the atmosphere, environmental conditions. The other is the genetic makeup. You know what the genetic makeup. Now again, there are questions coming that it has not infected many ethnicities in the Africa.
Yes.
There are reports. The confirmed reports are yet to receive. But the situation is that it is infecting people in all the temperatures and all the ethnicities, most of the ethnicities.
Okay, sir.
Sir, there are two questions from the faculty.
Huh.
One is,
Ma'am, I have a
we
question.
have a natural immunity to fight corona? And one person is asking Mr. Ashish Suman that what is the timeline of this new normal? Snakes, I will, after this, he answers, then you ask.
Okay,
Okay, ma'am.
madam, let me tell you the herd immunity. What happens when it spreads? One is that I immediately get exposed and I have a full blown infection. What happens? This is a pandemic. In all the pandemics, when it spreads, ultimately it if infects one person, then it trans-infects and it goes from person to person. And generally, it has been seen that virus loses its virulence as it passes from one person to person, and the community develops the immunity. Then it becomes part of the community. So what we say, the herd immunity. So slowly we would develop the herd immunity in a few months. That's why, or few months. That's why we say that it is going to stay with us. Let's say now dengue fever, dengue, influenza, they are also viral infections, but they are with us. Now we are staying with us. They are staying with us. So we will develop the herd immunity. Exactly how much time it will take, it is difficult to tell, but it will take few months or maybe 1 year. Slowly it will develop. Immunity will be developed.
The other was a timeline of new normal.
Timelines of new normal. I think जब ये हमारा दोस्त बन जाएगा, slowly then we will realize कि now we don't need to wear mask. We will remove the mask. कुछ लॉकडाउन के हटने से न्यू नॉर्मल चले जाएंगे, कुछ धीरे धीरे जाएंगे. अगर एक दो रहेंगे तो उसको हम अपना रखेंगे. They will become part of our evolution.
Snake, do you ask your question?
Yes, sir, I have a question. Yes, sir, I have a question. So, as ICMR has stated that there are 60 to 70% asymptomatic cases. So, how many people really need hospitalization? Like, how many infected people need hospitalization, or they can be home quarantined and they can like find in certain time?
Actually, asymptomatic patients, these things were also reported in US and India. It is also reported. A person who is asymptomatic, I think if he is asymptomatic, he doesn't know that he has a COVID, then he doesn't need hospitalization.
So, how many need this hospitalization? How many patients need hospitalization?
Actually, this will depend on the level of infection and the condition of the person. How many needs specialization, I can't tell you. But the earlier the reports were that 5% would need hospitalization and 1% would need the ventilator. But that is also coming false. So exactly how many need hospitalization is difficult to number.
Sir, one more
Okay, sir.
faculty is asking, is ICMR the only organization of the government, or even DRDO is working on the vaccine?
Madam, at the moment, the vaccine, many of the industries, Department of Biotechnology Labs, ICMR, Principal Scientific Advisor Office, these are the coordinated efforts which are being put so that we have our own vaccine. One, not only this, we are also participating in the international development so that if some foreign industry or some international agency develops it, so we become party to it for the availability of that successful vaccine in India.
Okay. Sir, one student, Akshita Singh, is asking that you mentioned about the mortality rates. The disease is still not considered as fatal. Why so?
Actually, because of the mortality rate, but it's still the WHO has put it as safety level BSL-2 pathogen. But I think the way the things are being done, it is 3. Because what happens when there is such a situation, then sometimes the norms by the international agencies are lowered or relaxed, and that has happened in the Fukushima nuclear accident, where the radiation absorbed dose, the permissible dose to the humans was relaxed, because if you don't relax, then people may not be able to work. Now WHO has relaxed norms on many devices, many things. Even Government of India has to do it, because these are the normal requirements of any pandemic or of any medical emergency or such situations.
Now, I would request Professor Dubey to say a few words. Professor Dubey.
Sir is not there.
He's not there.
I'm
Okay.
there.
Professor Dubey.
Okay.
Achha, he's not there. Now, Shipra, you are asking, you asked a question.
Yeah.
Shipra, you asked a question.
Yeah.
Ask, pucho.
Could I ask? Okay. Sir, I want to know that if the situation worsens in India, do we have enough ventilators? Because you also suggested that we only have 20,000 ventilators, and DRDO is working on 60,000 more. So if the situation worsens in India, will be able to contain it, and will we have enough ventilators?
I think, madam, we would be having enough ventilators. As I told you, with the changing scenario, the requirement, a need of the ventilator is also being redefined and reassessed. As I said, today we have about 20,000, and already 50,000 have been ordered. 60,000, and out of 60,000, 50,000 have been ordered with the indigenous industries. And at the moment, 2 days back, somewhere the data was that only 60 or 70 patients are on ventilator.
Okay.
So I think we have still large capacity available, and I think we have sufficient ventilators.
Okay.
So one more question.
Last question. Okay.
Yes, sir. Actually, what we see from the data is most of the countries, specifically whether it is in Europe or America, their mortality rate is more as compared to Asian countries. What do you think is the reason behind it?
Many reasons are being ascribed to that. Mortality rate, let's say Italy, one reason ascribed is, though they have the best of the medical facilities, because the aged population. Because India, we are the young country. And they are the aged population, because the mortality is about 60-70% in the elderly people. That could be one of the reasons. Then I don't want to comment on that. The other could be the genetic makeup or the already immunity which different people have. Now there were reports that since we had been taking anti-malarials, Indians are more
Also
immune.
BCG, sir. People are talking about
BCG. So all these reports are there. Let's wait and watch for their confirmation.
Sir, last question. A student has asked that is there any chance to take away the veto power from China after the situation is normal.
I think this is for the big people countries to decide. I am not capable of commenting on this.
Yeah. Okay. I
Thank
request
you.
Thank you so much, sir. I request
Thank you,
all the
sir.
other
Thank you,
faculty and students to stay back.
Thank you, sir.
Faculty
Thank you.
and
Okay.
students, please stay back.
Thank you, sir.
Faculty and-
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for coming.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
For the knowledge.
Okay.
Faculty and students, please stay back. Sir,
Thank
thank you
you
so
very
much.
much, sir. It
Okay,
was a
okay.
great lecture.
Thank you, sir. Okay. I just want to make an announcement to the faculty and students. एक तो ये सत्यम तिवारी, आप कौन सी क्लास के हैं?
मैम अभी
Second year.
सर
Ma'am,
Huh?
second year, no, sorry, first year, second semester, English medium.
English medium. Okay. I want to make an announcement. There's going to be another webinar which should interest the students more on building great careers in contemporary journalism by using special framework. So all the students who are here, please inform your classmates. This webinar will be held on Monday, 4th May at 3 p.m. A 1-hour webinar, 3 to 4 on Monday, 4th May. This will be conducted by Mr. Gagandeep Arora, who's a personality transformation coach and career expert. He has trained 1 lakh MBA students. So this should interest the students. So please come and join. I will put up the notice. I will put up the poster, send you the link again. Thank you so much, everyone. I
Thank you,
hope
ma'am.
Thank you,
I
ma'am.
hope the classes are going on.
Thank
Yes,
you,
ma'am.
ma'am.
They will go on,
Yes,
they will
ma'am.
go on till 3rd. Unless we
Yes,
see on the
ma'am.
notice.
Till 3rd.
3rd or 15th?
15.
Classes तो 3rd तक के लिए आई है ना?
I'm 15.
You said 15th तक we can take class.
15 का notice.
मैम क्लासेस के लिए भी तो 15 तक आया है जो नोटिस।
Okay, 15. उसके बाद assignment and
Yes.
Assignment and other things, yes.
Yes, ma'am.
मतलब if students are given, they are given. पर अभी जो डेट यूनिवर्सिटी ने दी थी ना, वो अभी ऐसे ही यूनिवर्सिटी ने उसके बारे में कुछ नहीं कहा है अभी। But we can follow that till we receive anything else.
लेकिन मैम यदि स्टूडेंट्स अभी प्रेजेंटेशन और असाइनमेंट देना चाहें
तो ले लीजिए श्रवण,
जी ठीक है,
इसमें क्या बात है?
मैम
ठीक है मैम। ये गाइडलाइन तो नहीं कि 16 के बाद ही लेना होगा।
नहीं भाई, ये बात
तो भी
नहीं
ले सकते हैं।
ठीक
हाँ।
है।
है। मुझे पता आप लोग के कोर्सेज खत्म हो गए हैं। 15 तक आपने सिर्फ वैसे ही बातें करनी है और रिविजन करना है।
रिवीजन कर
Ma'am, students are still there, ma'am.
रिविजन
So,
रिविजन करना है ना।
स्टूडेंट्स आर कमिंग, स्पेशली नेक्स्ट सेमेस्टर बहुत कम बच्चे आते हैं।
एनीवे, तो 15 तक चलाइए क्लासेस।
कमिंग, हाँ।
मैम मेरा एक क्वेश्चन है।
आप सुनिए, अगर आपकी सिर्फ रिवीजन क्लासेस चल रही हैं, जिन लोगों की, प्लीज सैटरडे संडे अवॉइड करिए।
Yeah, absolutely. We don't need Saturday Sundays.
ओके
मैम मेरा एक क्वेश्चन है।
हाँ तो
मैम ये जो असाइनमेंट के मार्क्स है स्टूडेंट्स के, ये हम लोग को कब तक सबमिट करने हैं? लास्ट डेट क्या है?
मैं बता दूंगी,
अभी टाइम है।
ठीक है? ओके
जी मैम।
ठीक है मैम।
थैंक यू
Thank you,
मैम।
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Bye, Vineet. Bye,
Bye
everyone.
everyone.
या हम लोग डिस्कस कर सकते हैं अगर बात करना है तो।
खाना बन गया?
Yes, we can discuss.
The students are also there, sir.
Okay.
Let the students go.
Okay.
बाद में we can plan
If you may leave, please.
webinar।
बिग बास्केट से मेरा ना कॉफी आई होगी, बोतल
और आशीष
मुझे
जी मेरे
9 बजे
भी
तक आनी थी, क्या अगर भेज दो ऊपर।
स्टूडेंट्स प्लीज लीव बेटा, we are done. See you on Monday now.
हाँ, मंडे 3 o'clock।
Yes ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Sure, ma'am.
मैम ब्रेकफास्ट हो गया?
मेरा तो ब्रेकफास्ट 9 बजे कर लिया था, मैं कर लेती हूँ 9 बजे।
मैम आपने कॉफी मंगाई है बिग बास्केट से?
कॉफी भी आज कल कॉफी रह गई थी, कॉफी खत्म थी। कभी कभी मन करता है कोल्ड कॉफी आजकल पीने का।
मैम बट ये बड़ा खतरनाक टाइम है, बाहर का अवॉइड कीजिए।
तो रहा है इसमें लॉक्ड इन, बट
अरे रेडीमेड कॉफी नहीं मंगाई,
ओके
कॉफी का पाउडर मंगाया है।
She'll make it. She'll make the cold
कॉफी
coffee.
बनानी आती है।
नाइस।
मेरा पाउडर का जो डिब्बी थी, वो बॉटल थी ना, उसमें
जी,
वो सब
जी।
जम गई है
ओके।
क्योंकि बहुत दिन से यूज नहीं की। मैं कुछ नहीं मंगाती बाहर से, सब घर में बनाती हूँ।
जी
चाहे
जी
डोसा
जी
भी हो, चाहे पिज्जा भी हो।
Wow,
Okay.
that's good.
मैम आप कुकिंग एक्सपर्ट है,
और जो
चलिए आपको
बाहर से
देख के
सब्जी-
मोटिवेशन मिलती है।
एक बात की चीज, जो सब्जी आती है ना, सब्जी अंडे सब मैं नमक के पानी में और सोडा पाउडर में आधा घंटा भिगोती हूँ, फिर प्लेन वाटर में धो के तब फ्रिज में जाता है।
बिल्कुल मैम, यही करना है, यही करना है।
और सैनिटाइजर लगा के ब्रेड को पूरा सैनिटाइज करती हूँ।
ब्रेड